your host, Superstar Lever. Tune in, look what I've got. It's the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Lord Drakkon EVO 3. And it's time to enter the grid and take a look at this version of Lord Drakkon. The Power Rangers, a television series that's always been there for us through thick and thin, with new Rangers each season bringing us new morphin adventures to the morphin grid. A television series that I gave up on quite early on as a child. I enjoyed the first few series, and then once they changed up the teams, I kinda got a little bit bored with it. Once they got to Turbo, I think I stopped watching. But it's fun to look back now with nostalgic eyes and see how far this series has come over 25 years, and how the comic books are going back to the original Rangers, the Mighty Morphin, the originals, the better Rangers in my opinion, and they're giving us some new stories and some new villains, but new villains that are very, very familiar to us. Today's review is going to be Lord Drakkon, so let's jump in, guys, but we've got to ask ourselves first, who is Lord Drakkon? There's a very familiar face under his helmet, because Drakkon is an alternate universe version of Tommy Oliver, as played by Jason David Frank in the various Power Rangers TV series. Tommy was the first Green Ranger and went on to become the White Ranger, the Red Ranger, and the Black Ranger. Tommy rose from within the ranks to become the team's leader, and he occasionally returned over the last 25 years in many ways. He is the primary hero of the Power Rangers and the main fan favourite. Lord Drakkon may prove to be Tommy's ultimate counterpart. Like the real Tommy, Drakkon was enslaved by Rita Repulsa and transformed into the Green Ranger to destroy the other Rangers. In the Prime timeline, Tommy was freed from Rita's control and he joined the Rangers. But in the dark reflection of those events, Drakkon chose to side with Rita, even after her spell was broken. United with Rita's forces, Drakkon conquered his world and decimated the ranks of the Rangers, leaving them defenseless against him. Over time, Drakkon used his morphing grid to empower his army and transform the Rangers' armor into symbols of fear. Drakkon's armor is a mixture of the Green and White Ranger costumes because he interrupted the creation of the world's White Ranger when he killed Jason Scott, the Red Ranger. Years later, Drakkon made contact with Rita of the Prime Universe, and he took on the persona of Black Dragon, an advanced Zord which he remotely controlled from his world. Even Rita had no idea the Black Dragon was a Zord until the Rangers uncovered the truth. Frank even had the chance to portray Drakkon during his recent guest appearance in the Power Rangers Hyperforce tabletop RPG streaming series, which pit the Hyperforce team against the newly re-empowered evil Tommy. Drakkon once again has gained the upper hand in his world as he stands poised to strike against the Rangers in Shattered Grid. I don't want to give any more away, guys, as it is a great storyline, and I do recommend you check out the comic book. I will leave a link to the comic in the description below on Amazon. It is an affiliate link, but it does support this channel, and if you were to pick it up, you will definitely enjoy reading, especially if you're one of the original Ranger fans like me from the 90s that grew up with this series. It's definitely a continuation of a story that you will be familiar with. Alright guys, here he is out of the packaging, looking awesome. I'm loving this piece, it's so cool. And again, I've just attached the little green, well, I say little, it's massive, that big green effect piece that just slots into the actual base there, just to give some little subtle, yeah, but just subtle, just give it some subtle lightning effect. He does look good though. So yeah, the Drakkon character is definitely up there for me. I'm a big fan of Tommy. I know that's really cheesy to say because everybody was a fan of Tommy. You're either a fan of Tommy or Jason, and I was always, Tommy without a shadow of a doubt. So when they said that he was coming back as Lord Drakkon, I got excited and got really into the comics at the time. So it was nice to see that kind of come back. And when they actually brought back Jason David Frank to do the live action sort of announcement trailer, that was so cool to see him back in the Power Rangers after all these years. So yeah, big fan. Remember guys, when I say that, I know he has been in other stuff, but don't forget I've only ever seen the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and then I gave up when it got to about Turbo. I gave up at Turbo. I was getting older at that point, and now I grew out of it. But as I've got older, I've rewatched all the original series, and I still can't get into the later episodes, but I do love the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and the fact that Lord Drakkon and the Shattered Grid sort of extends that, that world for me. I love it. But guys, what are your thoughts on this Lord Drakkon? Is it a figure you're going to get in your collection? Do you already have in your collection? Have you unboxed yours? Or are you keeping it fully boxed? People do ask me, do I regret unboxing? No, because now I've got this awesome Lord Drakkon figure to do action figure photography with, and I can't wait to go play with him. We have got that Tommy head sculpt as well, don't forget that, which will take you down here to see it once again. Because I have my Lord Drakkon with his helmet off, my original one, so I'm probably going to keep this guy in his black helmet and keep this Tommy head sculpt to one side for another time. So here is Lord Drakkon stood side by side with our previous Lord Drakkon figure. Both of these costumes look very cool. I'm liking the new one though. The darker costume is very much my style. I love the way that looks with the black and gold. But you can't beat that classic look of the white and the gold and the green, bringing all of Tommy's colours together to create that original Lord Drakkon armour. It does look very cool indeed. We do have a bunch of other head sculpts to try on these as well, but we will be sticking with the EVO 3 as we're reviewing that one today. But I will do some other head swaps as well, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see which ones fit on where, so let's take a closer look. So bringing in another Tommy head here, because this Tommy does include the unmasked Tommy head from the young Tommy, obviously from the original timeline, so I'm going to see if that actually fits on Lord Drakkon as well. And as well, Lord Drakkon, this new EVO 3 version, does also come with the shattered helmets. And I want to take that green one off and see if it does actually fit onto the body of the figure, and therefore we can create some very cool looking displays with the defeated Power Rangers. So let's take a look. So first of all, yes, it is possible to give the Green Ranger and the other Rangers, the pink, the yellow and the red, the shattered helmets. So that is a very cool concept. So you can use that for photos, and you can have the Green Ranger or the Red Ranger, Pink Ranger or Yellow Ranger as like defeated. That's very cool, because obviously in the comic books, the original Tommy Oliver is destroyed by Lord Drakkon, so that could be a very cool picture to use there. So yeah, that's very cool that we can include that and use those as proper head sculpts. They do click on properly, and they are it is firmly on there, so that's pretty cool. So if you ever felt the need, the young Tommy head will fit on the Lord Drakkon body as well. Fits on pretty tight. It does make him look a bit of a pinhead, I will admit. His head does look very small there with that big armour. But it fits. So if that's something you want to do, it will fit. Also, the original unmasked Lord Drakkon head will also work with this new body as well. I thought it would, but I just thought I'd double check. So yeah, it does actually fit very flush. It is very secure on there, so that's another definite head swap we can do for this figure. And just in case you were wondering, yes, you can fit the original Lord Drakkon heads onto the Green Ranger's body as well, if you wanted to. That's quite a cool concept. Once a Ranger, always a Ranger. But articulation-wise, it's on a lovely butterfly hinge, so you can rotate his arm forward and backwards. His arm does lift up all the way. There's a bicep cut, there's double hinged elbows, and the hands are on ball joints. There is an abdomen crunch at his waist, so you can crunch him around as well as swivel. Legs do lift out all the way, as well as forwards, backwards, top thigh cut, double hinged knees, boot cut, rocker, and pivot in the feet. So lovely articulation. In fact, a lot of articulation. And the cape does come off if you want it to. It's just popped into the gold parts here. At the top part of the cape, I believe. Yeah, just two little nubs in the inside of the gold, and then one in the back to hold that in place. It does, for me, create an issue standing. I am having trouble trying to find a pose where the cape's not overpowering his back so much, because the cape does seem to want him to lean back, which is annoying. I suppose you could use a little bit of wire and hide it behind the cape to cause the cape to lift outwards a little bit to help him stand, but I'd like to try and use the articulation on its own to try and get him to stand, where it is going to cause a few issues, I think. But either way, this figure is really nicely crafted. I really like what they've done with it, so that's very cool. This isn't the version, by the way, that was in the Shattered Grid video game. They did a slightly different alternate version of this for the Shattered video game. This is the one that's based on comics, I believe. He does have his little side sheath, and Saber does actually slot into that. Just move his arm out of the way. Or Saber did on the last one anyway, I'm assuming it would on this one. Yeah, there we go. You have to have him facing backwards, but yes, he does slide in and slot into the Ranger sheath there as well. But guys, what are your thoughts on this awesome Lord Drakkon? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, then please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Subscribing really supports us, it really helps out and helps us to keep making those videos like this. If you want to see more videos like this, then you've got to subscribe. So thank you very much for watching. As always, I'm your host, Super Sorrel, and I'll see you in the next video. May the Force be with you. Bye!